they're picking up the Doran's shield.
Same exact item Chloe picked up last night.
Right, that's gonna allow him to go head to head with any physical damage dealers and stay alive in the lane as well. It looks like they're gonna go for a lane swap here with Cryonix and Chloe heading to the top. They are gonna be the ones dealing with Mythic's Nidalee. She's actually gone for a little bit of ability power in her build. Does look like she's gone for a very interesting build on Nidalee. She has no Doran's Blade, which is something that's very typical for
a top lane
Nidalee, right? Because it allows you to harass, keep yourself sustained. And here in this case, they decided not to go for that.
The question is, will Mythic Q play the AP Nidalee with the poke coming in? Will Mythic Q play the Bruiser Nidalee split push? And that's something still kind of up in the air, and it depends on what Ucan Hong Kong Attitude's game plan is coming into this game.
Right, I mean, if she goes for the AP Nid though, she's not going to be quite as strong a duelist, nor is she going to be as strong a split pusher. But then her utility in pushing with the rest of the team is going to be there, because her spears will hurt quite a fair bit.
So we have the Singapore Sentinels actually being spotted out right by the Bushwhack in the lane brush in the mid lane.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
It does look like SGS is going to just stick together for now.
Will they go for a late invade? Because it seems that the entire team is actually grouping up through the tri-brush, and they may just go in for the invade onto the blue buff of Ucan Hong Kong Attitude, and the same thing that is going on the side of Ucan Hong Kong Attitude as well.
They will have spotted them out though. SGS had a ward at their own blue buff. And it is very late for them to be staying as a 5-man group here at malicious behavior.
I like how Chowie is actually in the front lines, and because of Teemo's passive, he's stealth, so no one can actually see him, including him.
They're going for cheese. This is a cheese strategy, no doubt about it.
5 men invade.
Somebody's going to be going to the bottom lane very, very late.
Yeah, honestly, they hope to catch out Bai in the jungle, starting in the blue buff, but it seems that that is not the case.
So they're going to be able to grab this blue buff here for Hallelujah. Mythic there doing a good job dropping down that ward, and that's going to help him out. But not for long, as we see the pink being dropped there by Kailing. Gets rid of that. Let's see who's going to head over to the bottom. It's going to be Ben W, sorry, heading over there. And he's going to be helping to grab the red buff for Hallelujah here.
Yeah, because Ben W is going to get pushed back in the Caitlyn Fiddlesticks lane. That's a very strong level 1 lane. The fear is going to just allow Engod to put down so much damage. And it seems that they're still sticking together. And yeah, Ben W is just going to go back, maybe take the wolves, possibly. And he's losing out on a lot of farm, because they have seen that Ben W is still not in the lane, and perhaps as well as Engod is just pushing very hard on the turret. The turret is already taken down to
really interesting, right? I mean, he has just basically given up all of that farm at the bottom lane, and I guess he wouldn't really get much as well. I mean, if he at the top lane we see Mythic Q getting really low. He's gonna be able to survive that poison, but then he's gonna flash over, waiting for those minions to come in.
Bai is tailing right behind Hallelujah. Is it gonna be a burn flash, and Mythic Q actually manages to escape that?
Oh boy, he actually gets away from that. That was a flash that got wasted there by Hallelujah.
Well, perhaps taken very low. I wonder what Ben W is doing right in this lane. Being able to trade a 2v1 lane, especially if it's a Fiddlesticks lane, with the fear itself is not an easy feat.
Right, meanwhile, there's a lot of pressure being put down here. Fi goes for the counter strike. They are going to try to get as much damage as they can into this turret. Nice stun there onto Fi, getting some amount of poke onto him.
Cryonix as well as Pasa duking it out in the mid lane. The CS is there about even, and it seems that SGS wants to put the pressure and break this first turret.
Yeah, this is very, very dangerous. It's a 3 versus 2 here, and Fi has that double buff. So perhaps is actually taking quite a fair amount of poke here from Ben W.
And Ben W says it's well passive up, so he doesn't really need to worry, especially if a fight breaks out under the turret. And on the side of Ucan Hong Kong Attitude, they're
gonna go in for the fight here. Hallelujah gets the nice flag spear onto Mythic. He will go down himself though, and it's gonna be Mythic who picks up that kill. Meanwhile, at the bottom lane, the turret does go down, being picked up here by Ucan Hong Kong Attitude.
Yeah, and I expect HKA to actually do the lane swap as soon as possible just to save this top turret, so they get that one turret advantage as well as that 900 gold lead that they are holding at the moment.
Right, they're gonna try their best to save it. If they can save it, that will put them at a nice advantage here in this early game. Hai Ling and Chloe though do not want that to happen, and they're gonna do their best to try to take out this turret. They need to stay a little bit far apart so they don't both get hit by the counter strike. See here, will charge to finish him. He is gonna get away there with a little bit of a poison ticking away on him.
And it seems that they actually do manage to save that turret as Ben W pushes down the bot lane, and we have perhaps as well as Engard rotating up to the top lane to do some additional damage onto Chloe and Hai Ling and to force them off that turret. They want to alleviate the turret pressure coming in from the side of SGS.
Meanwhile, the mid lane does look like Cryonics is lagging behind on CS on minion score. He's a little bit behind, but behind nonetheless.
So the lane swap actually happens, and Ben W is pushing very hard into the turrets, and he really wants to get that damage onto the bot lane turret but Fire actually responds to it, and good damage coming out in the mid lane from Cryonics.
One good thing though is that Ben W did manage to get more farm as compared to Mythic.
Yeah, Mythic was taken down very low, very early, forced to hug the turret, forced to share a bit of the lane experience and the CS with Fire. And this puts Ben W in that slight advantage coming into the top lane matchup.
So now it's going to be back to a regular 2 versus 2 here as Chloe comes back in lane. Hai Ling just sidestepping that trap, but make sure that he doesn't get stunned there. Being very aggressive here under the turret because Hallelujah will come in. He gets the knock up on Perhaps, and Perhaps will be forced to flash away. Will Hai Ling be able to charge up another stun? He's got 3 charges. So if he does have the range, he'll be able to get it off. But no, unable to get that range. They did burn 2 flashes though.
So overall, a pretty good trade coming in on the side of SGS, burning both flashes of Engard and perhaps Hallelujah. We can expect him to actually rotate down to the top lane to do additional damage, especially under the turret, which is not, it's a very high possibility as well.
Let's have a look at the items that we got. Vamp Scepter and Engard means that he can just very quickly get back most of his health. Side of Chow, you've got Kage's lucky pick. That's the same thing that he picked up yesterday.
Yeah, and the Amplifying Tomb would most likely built into the Hunting Guys and the Leandri's Torment, which is the same build, like you said, he used yesterday. Wow, Pasa taken down very low from the double bomb combo of Cryonics, and it seems that Fire is in the is in the counter jungling mode right here. It seems that he should be able to pick up this blue buff with his smite, and
oh, he's gonna get cut off here by Ben W. They get the slow onto him, but he gets the counter strike here. They're trying to keep him locked down here. He manages to jump away. Oh my goodness, the ignite is ticking. Will they be able to kill him? No, he's still alive. And he is able to use Mythic there to get away. Slight misplay there from Ben W. He did not land a knockup, I believe. He only got the slow. That was very, very close though.
Yeah, and denying the blue buff from Cryonic is going to be very detrimental to his laning, because Cryonic will end, then we have a pause. But like I said, denying the blue buff from the Zillion is going to be very detrimental to the laning phase.
It is, it is. I mean, right now, Zillion is already having a tough time in that lane. Add on to that, the fact that he doesn't have his blue buff, and Ahri will soon be picking up her blue buff. That's going to be tough for him to deal with.
Yeah, would you think that SGS wants to contest on the blue buff?
I think it'll be difficult for them to do that, especially since they're getting pushed all the way to their turret right now. They do have a lot of vision there though. I think Kai Ling has been spamming those vision wards, so they've got a lot of opportunity for a gank to come in here should Hallelujah rotate up to the top. The flashes are down for both Endgod and Perhaps, so that could be the next course of action for them.
Well, as we look in the pause, we see that Nidalee has picked up the tier of the Goddess, which kind of shows that Ucan Hong Kong Attitude wants Mythic Q to play the poke kind of Nidalee instead of the Bruiser Nidalee, seeing that she has also maxed up the Q.
Yeah, I think that's definitely going to be the case here. She's actually managed to catch up in gold to Ben W thanks to that first kill that she picked up. Xiao here once again forced to farm under turret. The long range of Caitlyn makes it very difficult for him to deal with her. You can see that Endgod's able to get a couple of pokes in.
Ahri still hasn't picked up her blue buff yet. It seems that right at this moment, Ucan Hong Kong Attitude wants to pass Ahri. No, it's most likely going to pass Ahri that blue buff, or Nidalee that blue buff, just to assist on the stacking of the...
No, they actually gave it to Phi.
Was that?
No, sorry. Where was that blue buff? It's
not on Phi.
It's where is it? I think it was.
Was it stolen?
Stolen, and there was only a minion there. That could have been the case. Oh, they have to watch out here for the gank. Phi waiting in those sidelines. They are gonna send Tibbers though, and Tibbers is gonna find out that Phi is there. Nice use of the bear. And now over here we do have Hallelujah coming in. He's gonna go for the stun. He flashes in. In comes the flag spear combo. They're gonna go for Perhaps. They know he doesn't have his flash up. They kill him before he manages to get that crow storm out. And they are able to get some good damage on Phi there before backing off. Meanwhile, they're at the bottom. We do see Pasa running into Ben W and Cryonics. They tried to burst down Cryonics, but Ben W was not going to have any of that. What this will do is leave Mythic the free farm at bottom lane though.
Yeah, but a non-bruiser Nidalee building AP would not be a better split pusher than the bruiser Triforce Nidalee, so that's gonna be kind of... SGS is gonna be a little happy with that, giving them some more time to respond to that split push.
Right, they don't have to worry about the turrets dropping so quickly. On the other hand, here at the top lane, Ucan HKA needs to be a little bit careful. In comes Ben W from behind. The turret is low. He gets the knockup. Phi is getting pretty low as well. They've managed to let Hallelujah to tank the tower there. Oh my goodness. Chowie flashing in for the kill onto Endgod, but the ignite doesn't deal enough damage. So too much aggression there.
Yeah, they should have just coming in.
They should have just taken the turret.
I think what they wanted was to actually get the knockup onto Endgod, but Ben W just missing it ever so slightly, only getting the knockup onto Phi. This allowed Endgod to actually 90 caliber net away, and despite having the flash down, Endgod still manages to escape. Yeah,
that was so close. That was definitely a clutch play there, being able to escape from that situation. Now we've got Phi pushing up at the top with Perhaps, and they're going to try to get some damage down here onto the top turret. Meanwhile, SGS will take advantage of the fact that they're up there by grabbing this dragon here.
Yeah, but right now SGS is giving the net advantage to Ucan Hong Kong Attitude, because after taking up that top turret as well as the bottom turret, they will definitely shift their focus onto the mid-lane turret. And
oh boy, they're gonna go for the gank here. Pasa manages to find Kai Ling, but he finds himself a lot more than that. He's gonna get trapped in the Cataclysm, and we will also see Pasa go down.
And Cryonics actually picks up the kill, and Fi as well as perhaps still relentless push in the top lane, and definitely want to deal some damage to the top lane turret.
And Fi is great at pushing. He's a Jax. He's got lots of attack speed once he charges it up. He's going to be able to put some good damage down here onto this top turret if he's left unattended. Meanwhile, this mid lane taking so much poke. Are they going to engage? Ben W jumps in. The Dark Flight there is just going to cost him a lot of damage.
Yeah, they failed to save that turret, and now Singapore Sentinels are 3 turrets behind, and they have yet to take a turret, and the map control is definitely in favor of Hong Kong Attitude.
Right, that was a very, very strange move that they pulled off at the beginning, where they allowed the bottom lane to be left unattended for a very long time.
Kai Ling would want to do his duty to actually try to afford, and it seems that they are just gonna, you know, wall out their jungle, prevent any kind of invades or catch out any of the rotations coming in from HKA, and hopefully get some picks, which that's what their team comp wants to do. Cryonics can speed up either Ben W, Hallelujah, or Kai Ling to get a pick easily, and they can just follow up from there.
Right. The strength of this team composition that SGS has is in its burst damage. So the later the game hits and the tankier the enemy team gets, the more difficult it is to execute their team strategy.
It seems that HKA is doing a fantastic job holding the turrets. I mean, it's been so long since we actually saw any aggressive push coming in on the side of SGS, and this is really gonna play into HKA's favor. So Cryonics picks up his first blue buff of the game with the help of Hallelujah, and this is definitely gonna help him in the lane.
Right, they haven't been able to take down this top turret despite the fact that it's so low. HKA has been sending everyone, all their manpower there to defend it.
Yeah, very good rotations coming in from HKA, responding to the ganks in a very timely fashion.
Now the only thing that SGS can hope to do is continue claiming these dragons. That's the only objective which they still can contest, because that top turret has too many people defending it.
Correct. And the strength of SGS's team comp at this moment lies, like you said, in the burst. But the problem is that they are being pushed into their own territory, and this prevents them from making any picks. So what SGS needs to do is actually break the turret line, get their ward line into the jungle, or into their own jungle right at this point of time, and try to make and punish any rotations coming in from the side of HKA.
Ouch, that spear chunking Ben W over there. We've got the needlessly large rod now being picked up on Mythic. That means that his spears are just gonna really, really hurt.
Wow. In spite of the 3 turret advantage that HKA has, the gold is very, very close.
Oh, they're gonna try to go for this. Ucan HKA is gonna grab this middle lane second tier turret, absolutely free of resistance. And I'm just a little bit surprised that the Singapore Sentinels let that happen. In exchange, they will get that fierce first tier turret at the top. Chloe, however, is going to be coming down a bit late to defend this second tier turret here. And it looks like SGS has been a bit slow on the positioning. The Dark Flight comes in from Ben W. They get a nice Annie out there, but straight away Cryonics is slain before he's even able to use his ult. Perhaps here goes in on Hallelujah. Ben W with the resurrection. That blood well will keep him alive just for a little bit longer. And it's going to be a 4-for-1 exchange here with Ucan Hong Kong Attitude just racing through the enemy team and taking them all out.
Wow, it seems that SGS is willing to give out this inhibitor turret for a tier 2 top turret. This may spell disastrous for them because Ucan Hong Kong Attitude is definitely gonna pick up this inhibitor turret off that team fight.
I think a big problem in that last fight was that Cryonics died without even getting to use his resurrection.
And Nidalee responding, Mythic Q coming in, saving the top turret and effectively chasing Chowie's Teemo away.
Chowie's got a ton of mushrooms around there though, so he's quite safe in terms of watching out for ganks. He's got vision all the way across that top side of the map. SGS only with a single turret here. They've lost 6 of their own turrets. They're only 3,000 gold behind though. Things could be a lot worse.
That's right, they definitely have to punish those rotations in the jungle. So what SGS needs to do is to ward out their jungle, catch any rotations that have been happening. That, of course, HKA is going to turn their eyes onto the top tier 2 turret. So they have to watch out for that.
Right, at this point it's become quite difficult for them to defend. Mythic gonna get possibly run into Chowie there, but Chowie decides not to engage. He may, however, get picked off here as the rest of the team comes in. Ucan Hong Kong Attitude looking for these pickups. They are gonna go out that room. They're gonna chunk Mythic quite a fair bit.
Yeah, although playing AP Nidalee means
the charm onto Chowie. He takes a fair bit of damage there. He's gonna be sped up. He drops the Twin Shadows. That will slow down Pasa and Mythic, but there is no engage here.
The AP Nidalee heal is going to mitigate some of that damage coming in from Chowie's Teemo's Noxious Trap. So that I can understand why Ucan Hong Kong Attitude may have chosen to play an AP Nidalee instead of the Cruiser Nidalee this game. The sustain would definitely help.
Ouch. The shrooms there just working their way.
It seems that they are going to give up this tier 2 turret because they have super minions pushing it into their Nexus turrets at this moment.
Oh yeah, that is disastrous. The fact that they gave up that inhibitor so early on means that it's very difficult for them to defend against these split pushes. You can see here, even Phi is going to have the opportunity to come over to the Dragon and pick it up by himself. That's going to push the lead even further here. They're going to be up to a 5,000 goal lead on the side of Ucan Hong Kong Attitude.
Now this picking up this dragon is just going to bring the goal even further ahead for HKA, and SGS really needs to do something in response to prevent this from snowballing out of control.
It's about 19 minutes into the game and we have a 5,000 goal lead. Still something that they can come back from. I think right now the biggest problem is not the goal lead, but rather the fact that they've lost that bottom inhibitor. There's just too much pressure here from the constant pushing of the minions. Blue buff here under attack by Ucan Hong Kong Attitude. We do see SGS trying to contest it.
It seems that Ucan Hong Kong Attitude will back off from this turret and gives the blue buff to Hallelujah in order to prevent Ucan Hong Kong Attitude from making a steal for the blue buff. That's gonna be that's gonna hurt a bit because Cryonics would much rather prefer to have that blue buff to be on him.
Right, that was definitely not who they wanted to get the blue buff on. But they didn't want to take the risk of Mythic stealing that blue buff. That would have been absolutely disastrous. Chowie with a nice dodge on the spear. And those shrooms are helping to keep the enemy at bay. That's one great thing about Teemo. But like I said, their team is reliant on that burst damage, and at this point they do not have it. Endgod, as an AD carry, is going to outscale Chowie, who's playing AP Teemo any time of day. They're going to go for the engage. They want to go for that catch. The Cataclysm comes in here. Hallelujah gets speared. Kai Ling comes in. He tries to get the stun as well. Phi here going to go in straight onto Cryonics. Ben W still alive. He's going to have that Blood Well keeping him up. Cryonics will drop, but he does have his Chrono Shift. Now it's up to Chowie and Cryonics here to finish them off. He will be able to pick up the kill on Pasa. Now it's Kailing and Chowie on the retreat. They will walk right into the shroom here on the side of Ucan Hong Kong Attitude. It's a 3-for-3 exchange, but The Nexus turret here is getting some damage. And Engard and Mythic are going to be able to push down this inhibitor turret. Where is the defense? Chloe coming in, trying to stop this. Crownix with the home guard boots will put down the bomb, but isn't able to get the slowdown. Engard takes a huge amount of damage there. Is he going to run into the shroom? He will walk into that next shroom.
He has to be very careful.
Now that both inhibitor turrets are down, Ucan Hong Kong Attitude has a lot of room to play around with.
So we're going to that replay there in the fight. We have Hallelujah coming with the Cataclysm, and look at Fi. He actually zones out Cryonix, Chowie as well as Kailing, and forcing Hallelujah to back off. But Pasa comes in, tries to pick up the cleanup, uses the Zonias in hope that Cryonix actually doesn't get taken down by the Ignite. So the Chrono Shift comes back, giving her almost full health, flashing in from the bomb, picking up the kill onto Pasa. Actually, the Poison Tick picks up the kill and gives the blue buff onto Chowie.
Oh, now that they've got so much map control, Ucan Hong Kong Attitude is going to try to go for this Baron. Taking it down relatively quickly. SGS knows about this though, and they are going to try to put a stop to it. Pasa is going to try to burst down Ben W. He does not have his blood well up. He will go down here as the fear locks him. And now it is going to be SGS very, very far behind. They've lost one of their members of the team, and it's going to be a 4 versus 5 should they choose to contest this Baron.
It seems that Ucan Hong Kong Attitude is thinking twice about continuing on this Baron fight because they have been taken very low from the Poison Ticks as well as the Noxious Traps, and they have decided to just back away. So it's a good delay on the Baron attempt by SGS.
Well, is SGS going to try to go for an engage here? It would be very, very dangerous if they do so. Blue buff is up once again for the Singapore Sentinels. Actually, just one little lizard.
It's interesting to see that SGS is on the back foot now, because I'm very sure that they wanted to take the early advantage, knowing that they have such an early game team in terms of Teemo, especially picking Teemo into the late game is not gonna be any help at all.
Right, and he's not got many items up yet. He's got his Twin Shadows, but apart from that, there's not much else left in his inventory. Ucan Hong Kong Attitude perhaps once again exercising their control of the Baron.
Yeah, the ward that's spotting them doing the red buff, so they're just gonna dance around this.
What SGS needs to do is go for the engage and try to go for the burst damage, because in a long drawn out fight they're gonna have a tough time. And they might go for it here. Hallelujah goes in, he drops the Cataclysm, but we don't have the follow up, and that means he's gonna end up dying here without accomplishing too much. The Crow Storm comes in, lots of damage. Kai Ling is gonna get feared right there. SGS Ben W now getting taken out, and that's gonna be a 1-for-5 exchange. The ace. Two open inhibitors now ripe for the picking here, as ouch, those mushrooms.
This trap.
They are very, very worried about the mushrooms.
Yeah, we're gonna take a look at the replay. We have Hallelujah coming in with the ultimate, the Chrono Shift, and he will get the revive, perhaps using the Crow Storm onto the entire team of SGS, putting down the fear. Very good. The lockup from Tibbers coming in. Ben W wrecking face, but the problem is that Engard is on the outside, being able to just do cleanup damage, and Ben W doesn't have the Bloodwell passive up, and only manages to take down Fi.
What we just did while we were watching the replay was Ucan Hong Kong Attitude perhaps walking into a mushroom and dying.
Aha. So those Noxious Traps doing work and allowing SGS to pick up some consolation kills.
Right. Surprisingly, the lead now is only at, well, it's not only at, but it's still at a 7,000 gold lead. They only picked up one inhibitor, so SGS still can come back in this game. It's going to be difficult though. They managed to catch Fi. If they kill Fi here, they could pick up an advantage that they so badly need.
The Twin Shadows goes coming in, slowing down Fi additionally, and the Poison Ticks coming in, perhaps coming in to try to save the damage, and Fi does not go down to the Poison Tick.
Oh my goodness, that was so close. They needed that kill so badly, and they didn't get it. They're going to try to grab the dragon, but now the top lane is pushing in, and once that top lane goes in, they're going to have to defend the Nexus turrets which means that Baron is open season. And they're going to give it up. They know this Baron is taking place because they've got that. I'm pretty sure they know that what's happening right now. They just cannot do anything about it.
Yeah, they are going to have to give up this Baron, but Ucan Hong Kong attitude, it's now their game to lose. It depends, it all rests on how they use this Baron buff to actually close out the game.
I think they will be able to do it quite easily. They are in a commanding lead, except for those mushrooms. It's funny how they still walk into the shrooms even though they've got
an Oracle on the team, perhaps not. Perhaps doesn't see the mushrooms.
They're gonna go for that bottom inhibitor, I'm guessing. It is, after all, wide open.
SGS daring to face the Baron buff. Ouch. Hong Kong attitude in the face. So let's just see if they can actually prevent them from taking this bottom inhibitor.
Ooh, the spear is just chipping away at Cryonics here. And this is going to be it. This is the final countdown. This will decide who's the victor of this match. Kai Ling is looking for that entry, but he cannot find it. The ace in the hole chips away at Chowie. That's it. They're going to lose the inhibitor right here, right now. Down goes the inhibitor. Top minions pushing in. The pressure is... This is a boiling pot right now. It's just too much pressure on all lanes for Singapore Sentinels.
Losing that top
and in they go. Hallelujah is forced to engage. There's no choice here. It's do or die. He's going to get feared. Engard just chipping away at him. And in comes the Crow Storm once again. Pasa finding a very, very nice spot there for him to just Spirit Rush in, pick up these kills. He's going to go for the kill on Kai Ling. Get stunned under the turret, but the Ignite will finish off Kai Ling. And that will be it. Ucan Hong Kong attitude with the Baron buff. It's a 1-for-4 exchange. Will take away game 3 of the night. Singapore Sentinels, Chowie there, forced to sit next to his mushroom and wait. There's absolutely nothing that he can do. First Nexus turret goes down, so does the second, and that will be it. Trying to pick up a consolation prize, trying to get that kill on Phi.
But the Nexus goes down, and Ucan Hong Kong attitude picking up the win against SGS tonight. So that is the last game, and the victory goes to Ucan Hong Kong attitude. I mean, that loss in the bot lane and the inhibitor going down so early gave Ucan Hong Kong attitude that control in the mid game.
Right. The fact that they let Engard and perhaps just push away at that bottom lane, I feel that we just gave them the free turret, and once they got that free turret, they rotated to the top, protected their own turret, and that was it. They just drew a stalemate there. They put too much pressure on the bottom lane. SGS was constantly being held up. There's no way for them to move around the map, and it was just a pressure cooker.
That's right. And it seems that maybe the Teemo pick isn't the best pick right now as an AD carry. I mean, he wasn't being played as an AD carry, but
right,
you know, the Teemo